Welcome to my channel. First we will discuss about previous question. So question was, the nurse is preparing to administer medication through the triple lumen central venous catheter and the pot being used for medication administration is sluggish and not flushing properly. What should the nurse do? So answer is, the nurse should not try to force the flushing because this could dislodge a clot and disrupt the integrity of the catheter. If the catheter becomes fully blocked, it may not be usable. The nurse should assess for clamping of tube. If the blockage is due to positional issue, instruct the client to change the position, raise arm and cuff. This intervention will correct it. Now we will discuss about important nursing situations related to intravenous therapy. Question number 1. The nurse is making initial rounds on the nursing unit to assess the patient's condition. Which assessment findings are consistent with infiltration? Options are pain and arrhythmia, pallor, edema, numbness and coolness, formation of red streak and purulent drainage, all of the above. So correct answer is B, pallor, edema, numbness and coolness. A line that is dislocated from the vein and is lying in the subcutaneous tissue is known as infiltrated intravenous line. Pallor, edema, numbness, coolness and pain are the results of IV fluid being deposited in the subcutaneous tissue. When the pressure in the tissues exceeds the pressure in the tubings, the flow of IV solution will stop. If infiltration occurs, the IV catheter or cannula should be removed. Question number 2. The nurse is inserting an IV line into a client's vein. After initial stick, the nurse would continue to advance the catheter. In which situation? Options are the catheter advanced easily, the vein is distended under needle, the client does not complain of discomfort. Blood return shows in the backflush chamber of the catheter. So correct answer is D. Blood return shows in the backflush chamber of the catheter. The IV catheter has entered the lumen of the vein successfully when blood backflush shows in the IV catheter. If the excessive distension occurs after vein puncture, it means the needle went through the vein and into the tissue. Therefore, catheter should not be advanced and remove the IV catheter. Question number 3. The nurse is assessing a patient's peripheral IV site after completion of vancomycin infusion and notes that the area is reddened, warm, painful and slightly edematous. At this time, which action by the nurse is best? Options are check for the presence of blood return, remove IV site and restart at another site, document findings and continue infusion, call the doctor and request that the vancomycin be given orally. So correct answer is B. Remove IV site and restart at another site. If redness, warm, pain, edema, discomfort at the IV site, it means patient has phlebitis. The nurse should remove IV catheter and insert a new IV line at different site. Question number 4. The nurse is preparing a IV infusion at the medication cart. As the nurse goes to insert the spike end of the IV tubing into the IV bag, tubing drops and the spike end hits the top of the medication cart. The nurse should take which action? Options are obtain a new IV bag, obtain a new IV tubing, scrub the spike end with betadine, scrub the spike end with alcohol swab. So correct answer is B. Obtain a new IV tubing. The nurse should obtain new IV tubing because contamination has occurred and could cause systemic infection to the patient. There is no need to obtain new IV bag because it was not contaminated. Question number 5. The doctor has written a prescription to discontinue an IV line. The nurse should obtain which item from the unit supply for applying pressure to the site after removing the IV catheter. Options are elastic tape, betadine swab, adhesive bandage, sterile gauze. So correct answer is D. Sterile gauze. After removing IV line, the nurse should use a dry sterile dressing to apply pressure on the IV site because this material is absorbent, sterile and non-irritant. Betadine swab will cause the irritation on the open IV site and it will not stop the blood flow. Now we will discuss about important points related to intravenous therapy. Point number 1. Always follow the 10 rights for medication administration. Right patient, right medication, right dose, right route, right time, right documentation, right client education, right to refuse, right assessment, and right evaluation. Point number 2. Do not write on a plastic IV bag with a marking pen because the ink may be absorbed through the plastic into solution. Use label and a ballpoint pen. Point number 3. Check electronic IV infusion devices frequently. Point number 4. In adult, use forearm vein for IV cannula because the bones of forearm act as a natural support and splint. Point number 5. RL solution contains potassium and should not be administered to the client with acute kidney injury or chronic kidney disease. Point number 6. In diabetic patient, the dextrose solution like D5 and D10 should not be given because this solution can increase the blood glucose level. Point number 7. Always document the occurrence of complication, assessment findings, actions taken, and client's response. Now there is a question for you. A client with PICC, peripherally inserted central catheter, in the right upper extremity suddenly exhibits chest pain, dyspnea, hypotension, and tachycardia. What should the nurse do? Answer will be discussed in the next video.